Hey, what's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. The last video I talked about MCOC's top 5 most difficult yet rewarding champions, and I got so much great feedback and engagement, so I decided to make a part 2. And if you didn't happen to watch my last video, I'm basing this ranking off of champions that require high mechanical skill or precise decision making throughout the fight. With that being said, let's hop into the list. Coming in at number 5, we have arguably the second strongest Thor in the game, Beta Ray Bill. Now, I know there's not a lot of Beta Ray Bill enjoyers out there. I mean, after all, it looks like a duck. But the thing is, you just can't let his popularity fool you. He's one of those champions that looks pretty straightforward, but the more you play him, the more you realize how much decision making he actually demands. And one of the core challenges with Bill is his shock management. Every fight you're constantly making this choice. Do I refresh my shocks? Do I cash out right now for some burst damage? Early in the fight, this doesn't really matter and it's pretty forgiving. But later on, once Bill starts scaling, it becomes pretty much everything. For example, as the fight progresses, it's all about keeping your shocks alive, making sure you're stacking your buffs correctly, and knowing when to convert that setup into damage without dropping momentum. And once you finally get Bill up and running, he feels absolutely incredible. And with a nice grip passive on his heavy attack, and as well as most of his damage coming from red numbers, he brings real versatility, which is honestly quite rare in the Cosmic class nowadays. So overall, he handles a bunch of different matchups, scales beautifully, and rewards players who actually plan ahead instead of just mashing their special attacks. Taking our number 4 spot is the burning embodiment of all life within the multiverse itself, the Phoenix. The Phoenix is one of those champions that's either deleting content or fizzling out so badly you might think she was on a safeguard node the entire time. Her main gameplay loop revolves around maximizing her Phoenix Force charges and her Cosmic Flame aura. And while you could build these up with simple light and medium attacks, the real skill expression comes from parrying non-contact abilities. This essentially just means that you need to be parrying all of your opponent's special attacks, as well as having complete mastery over the reparry technique. This all flows into you charging her heavy attack, which begins to stack incinerates based on the amount of Phoenix Force charges you have, capping at 30. And once you figure out how to play her properly, she starts melting her enemies by stacking triple-digit incinerates. So her playstyle isn't just something you kind of stumble into. It's all very intentional, and once you get it down, she can start to handle some of the most annoying defenders in the entire game. Taking our 3rd spot on the list is the smartest scientist within Hydra's ranks, the immortal Arnim Zola. Everyone knows that Zola is an annoying defender, but what most people don't realize is that he's also an insane attacker. This all revolves around his pre-fight ability, which allows you to special lock one or two your opponent. This all flows into you having extended heavy chains. Once you put your opponent into the corner, you start to stack disintegration debuffs, pause them with your special attacks, and suddenly your opponent is stuck in the corner for the entire fight. The real difficult part about all of this is like some type of weird spacing issue. If you end up being too far away from your opponent, you end up just whiffing your heavy attack and then you get punched in the face. As well as the added tempo of the fight where you need to know when to throw your specials, because if you throw them too early, you end up just throwing it into your opponent's block and the same thing happens. Overall, he's not the most flashy champion, but impressive in the right hands of someone that knows what they're doing. Coming in second, we have the interdimensional wasp predator herself, Shathra. Shathra is the character in MCOC that will punish her impatience more than any node ever will. She's one of the highest decision-making based champions in the entire game. The entire damage rotation begins with planting dormant wasps onto your opponent via basic attacks, transitioning into using your special one to activate those wasps for some nice damage over time onto your opponent. That's your foundation. From there, everything matters. You have to consider how many wasps were planted, how much power the opponent has, spacing relative to your opponent, whether you have enough time to safely charge your heavy, and whether that heavy will convert into a special too. Pretty much always asking yourself to make a judgment call. Is it safe? Is it optimal? Is this the right moment? If you get that decision wrong, Shathra's entire loop just falls apart and you just end up getting destroyed. Taking number 1 on this list is the champion that was most mentioned in my last video, and for good reason. It's Hydra's very own maniac, Crossbones. Wow, and you would think that this character is so unbelievably simple just because all you have to do is hit your opponent and generate fury buffs, but it's anything but the case. Crossbone takes his number 1 spot because he embodies earned damage. Playing this champion at his max potential requires deep matchup knowledge, and with that knowing exactly how and which specials / heavies you could punish. This all ties in directly to understanding your spacing at all times throughout the fight, and recognizing the moment you need to close the distance with a quick light attack. And just when I've forgotten about this champ completely, I end up seeing a clip of him on Reddit or YouTube absolutely destroying a fight I would never imagine he'd be able to take. And that's part 2 of this list. Please leave me a comment letting me know if I got this one right or who I should include in the next one. Also, don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for all of you who stayed until the end, and I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. More to come. Bye bye.